Hey there, Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and in today's video I'm going to tell you how I was able to replace my 9-to-5 full-time job income. And before we dive in, if you are ready for financial freedom right now, comment freedom below in the comments, or give me some other comment to help out the YouTube algorithm so that we can get this video out to more people. Alright, you guys, let's talk about how I was able to replace my income from my 9-to-5 job. And I just want to show you guys what is possible and hopefully inspire you or even motivate you to work toward any financial goal that you want to be working toward. And the first reason that I was able to replace my full-time 9-to-5 job income was because I knew I wanted to. I didn't know at first that I wanted to do that, but just a few years ago, I discovered the FIRE community, Financial Independence Retire Early community, and I saw that people were retiring in their 30s, in their 20s even, and in their 40s, way before 65. This was blowing my mind because I had a coworker that her and I would be in the lunchroom. We would always bring our lunches together, so we would be eating lunch together, and we would talk about this all the time, thinking, oh, I don't know how much I'm going to need to retire. Like, will we ever be able to retire? We just had no idea. So when I discovered that people were doing this, I was like, what? People have figured this out. It was amazing to me, and I was so excited about it. And I still am excited about it. But essentially, if you guys want to know, they take their annual expenses and multiply that by 25. And once they have that number invested, then they're financially free. Then they can essentially retire early if they wanted to. So, and I have another video on that. I'll post the link below and you can check it out if you're interested. But that was just amazing to me. So once I figured that out, I was like, I need to do this as soon as possible. And it's not all about the money. It's about freedom, about financial freedom and time freedom, and about choices. So it's not just, oh, I want to retire and sit around and do nothing all day. But I want to retire, and not in the official sense of retire. Usually people think, okay, they're not going to work at all and they are just going to sit at home and do whatever. But that, to me, retire early means that I have the option to not work or I have the option to work. It's a choice that I can make, but I'm not relying on someone else to have an income. I have my assets that produce income for me. So I am not, strapped to a 9-to-5 job. And I actually quit my job just, almost 3 years ago. Not quite, but almost. I had discovered this community before I quit my job, and I was so glad that I did because things were not good at my job. Things had been really, really good for a long time there, but toward the end, I was very, very unhappy, and things were they had made changes and I didn't think it was right, and I wasn't happy there. So I was actually really glad that I had the ability to quit my job. That was the first step, realizing that I wanted to replace my income so that I wouldn't have to rely on someone else for that income. And I still can go work somewhere else if I want to. Like, if I wanted to get a part-time job and go do something fun, I could totally do that. And right now I'm working on building up my own business. So that's been fun for me. And the second thing that helped me replace my income was just by starting small, taking one step at a time and starting small. So the way that I was actually able to replace that income is through my rental properties. And the first property that I actually bought it in 2005, so quite a long time ago. And this property, I had 2 roommates living with me, so they were helping to cover the mortgage, which was fantastic. So I kind of saw, a little bit of cash flow from that, but I didn't realize the full potential that was available to me until later on when I started talking to one of my friends that has a bunch of rental properties, and my old boss also has multiple rental properties, and they are both very successful in real estate. And so I started asking them questions about how they were able to do this and doing a lot of research. And I ended up buying my first rental property. And this was a small investment, if you will. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. So not a huge house with a huge mortgage payment. It was something I felt like that I could afford. and it's been a great investment. I bought it in 2015, so I've had it for almost 5 years, and I have really enjoyed having that property, and I don't mind managing my own properties. So I bought that property, and this was just kind of I had money sitting in savings that wasn't working for me. I was really big into saving, and I still am, but I'm also more into investing now. But it was sitting in my savings account, and I kept thinking, I need to get that money working for me. I'm not sure what to do, and I'm a little nervous. But after talking to my friend, and he was telling me just, how successful real estate can really be, I thought, okay, I really want to invest in an investment property. So I did that, and by starting small, I felt comfortable by doing that, even though I was really nervous. But the more properties you buy, the easier it gets, I found. So I started with that property as just strictly a rental and still had the property that I was living in. And then just the next year, I was like, I need to buy another property. Like, the market had started to come up a little bit, and I kept thinking, I really like real estate, and it's creating this cash flow for me. So I ended up buying a third property, and I actually moved into that so I wouldn't have to have a large down payment, because with a rental property, you need to have 20% to put down. But if you are moving into the place, if it's going to be your primary residence, you don't have to put down 20%. You can put down, 5% or even less than that. And yes, you will have PMI, private mortgage insurance, on your mortgage, but it can still be worth it because, you're just leveraging a small amount of money and gaining a huge asset by doing that. And you can actually get rid of your PMI. I did a video not too long ago about how I was able to get rid of my PMI on the property that I live in. So I'm going to put the link to the video below in the description, and you can check that out if you're interested. But I ended up purchasing this property, and I just kept my other property that I was living in and left my roommates there, and then replaced myself with another girl. So she moved in as soon as I moved out, and so I started collecting rent from that property as well as my condo. And then I got roommates when I moved into this property and was getting income from my roommates. And by this time, I was really not happy at my job. So I was able to quit my full-time 9-to-5 job. I didn't quite have my full salary replaced yet, but I was getting closer, and I felt like it would be okay if I was to do that. So I ended up quitting my full-time job and starting full force on my own business. And I was able to do that because I had these rental properties. And yes, I had a savings account as well, and I have money in the stock market in a brokerage account and in a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. But because I had these things set up, I was able to quit my job. And then last year, I kept thinking, I need to buy another property. I need at least one more, if not two more. So we'll see if I get another one later. But I ended up purchasing another property last year. And this one was a larger property. So this is a 4-bedroom house. And the property that I'm living in now is a townhouse. And when I purchased it, it was actually a 3-bedroom, but I finished the basement, so it now has 4 bedrooms in it. I kind of started small with my condo and then expanded from there. So I got a single family home last year, and that means I'm in charge of, replacing the roof if that needs to happen, or the sprinklers and taking care of the lawn. So there's extra things that I need to do with the property. But with my other properties, of course, they take care of that, but I have an HOA payment, a homeowners association payment, that I need to pay each month for them to take care of that extra stuff. So there's cons and benefits for both properties, but I decided to kind of expand and do this single family home last year. And I am so glad that I did, because the market has continued to rise over time, and my properties, all of them, have gone up significantly in value. And if you want the breakdown on how I bought each property and how much they are worth, I have a video, my $1 million portfolio revealed. So I'll post the link below, and you can check that video out if you're interested. But essentially, by buying these 4 properties, I was able to replace all of my income that I was making from my full-time 9-to-5 job. And yes, I'm doing work managing my own properties. I do not have a property manager, but I am not spending anywhere near 40 hours a week managing my own properties. There is a lot less work to do, and it's something that is going to increase in value over time, and I own them. So I will eventually pay off the mortgages and own them outright. And my expenses will go down once those mortgages are paid off. So that's just going to, in essence, increase my cash flow that I will be making from each of these properties. So I made about $75,000 at my 9-to-5 job, and now I'm making just over $80,000 in my properties from rental income. And yes, like I mentioned, my expenses have gone up because I do have mortgages on all of these properties, but eventually those will go away. And there's, those other expenses that I have. When I was working a 9-to-5 job, I drive a lot less now because I'm not traveling to and from work anymore. So my gas has dropped a lot, and the wear and tear on my car has gone down quite a bit. And, there's just a few expenses that you have when you have a 9-to-5 job. And the time that you're spending commuting to and from work is also costing you time, which is costing you money. So there's kind of some trade-offs there, but I just wanted to share this example with you guys so that you can see there are ways to replace your income from your 9-to-5 job. So you do have that option to quit if you wanted to, or you could just keep working, but it's up to you. You have the choice because you're the one in control. You have created that financial freedom for yourself. And I've done that through mostly real estate, but also the stock market, because when I bought that fourth property, I took out a bunch of my stocks that I had in the stock market and put that toward my down payment for my fourth property, which helped out so that I could actually buy that fourth property. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please hit the like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will really help me out, and we can get this channel and my video out to more people. And if you guys have other ideas about content you would like me to create, please put that in the comments below. And if you guys are interested, Webull is doing a promotion where they're giving away 2 free stocks right now. So if you set up an account, you get 1 free stock. And then if you deposit just $100, then you get a second free stock. And it's valued up to $1,000. So I will leave my referral link below, and you can use that to sign up for a Webull account if you want to get 2 free stocks. It's up to you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.